Disappointing loss. Hurts. Obviously, very appreciative of the homecoming crowd, and that was awesome. Very thankful for the fans, and that hurts. We had a lot of really positive things trending going into today, and a tough loss. But obviously, told the team in the locker room that we got to stick together here. Got a lot of football left to be played, and we need a couple extra days here, which would be good for us before we get to midweek action. And just got to stay by each other's side. Uh, Take it on the chin like a man. And sometimes life is tough, and certainly it's disappointing right now. And in terms of the game, obviously it's tough to lose a turnover battle. We've been so good at that. Certainly, last 3 weeks we won the turnover battle, and so to lose the turnover battle, and then certainly had some untimely penalties. I had a score called back there on a hold. Hadn't really had a chance to see it, and then right there at the end, obviously did a good job driving down the field, but credit 21 for making a play there, and we just got to stick together here, regroup, and move forward.
So it's not trying to hit it on one guy or anything, but for Drew, it's kind of deja vu to what happened with Miami last year. And what's your message to him kind of after the game?
Yeah, I mean, that's obviously that's part of the quarterback position. Sometimes you probably get too much credit, and when sometimes when things happen the way they do with the turnover and the way it is at the end of the game right there, and it was on the far side of the field, so I didn't have a super great angle at it, but just obviously 21 made a play, but did it float a little bit? I wasn't sure, so I just have to look at the film right there, and it's tough, man. It's when you play that position, it's you're in that position, and certainly earlier in the game we had an exchange problem where we put the ball on the ground on drive number 2, and then right there at the end of the game, and so got to just keep him together. He's played a lot of football. He's an older guy. He understands what it's like, and so we just got to build him back up, and he's got to bounce back and get himself ready to go here for Akron.
And there were the turnovers, but then there were also, like you mentioned, the penalties. I mean, how tough are those to kind of swallow when they came, when they did, I guess?
Yeah, I guess I'm looking at the sheet here. It has this for 6 penalties for 68 yards. It seemed like a lot more than that. That's all I can say. I guess just untimely. I don't know. When they happened, we had the hold on the Jayshon's touchdown there, and I think they called it on Justin. I'm not positive. I haven't had a chance to see that yet. Disappointing. Obviously, it's an aggressive penalty. I know they called a penalty there on Curtis. Obviously, that was a personal foul on Brett. Those are things that, that's not part of what we are. Those are things that don't typically show up for us. So I guess, put them in the category of untimely penalties, and I'd have to see them. I really, was explained to me, but, I know that Curtis and Brett are both guys that, have played a lot of football around here and done it the right way, and they try to finish, and certainly didn't see if there were retaliation penalties or what it was, but just have to have a chance to look at that and see. But the untimely penalties certainly will kill you, just like the turnovers will.
Yeah, and then for you guys, things get a little trickier in terms of not determining your own destiny. I mean, what's kind of the mentality movement in the last 4 weeks? We got Northern and Central coming up.
Well, we got a big group of seniors around here that have played a lot of football and poured their heart and soul into our program here. And so we have 4 games left to play. We need a couple extra days here because, guys are laying it on the line and need a couple of extra days here to heal up. But then we got to get back to work, and we got a lot of football left here, and we got to give every ounce of what we have back to those seniors, because they're certainly a big part of why we're here and playing in significant games at this point in the season. And I love that group of guys, and we just got to keep playing. There's more games on the schedule, and there's still a lot to be accomplished, and so we just got to keep playing. And this one stings. It'll sting tonight, but you got to move on. You got to move on, and you got to make sure that you come back ready to go to work tomorrow. And after have a couple of days off, we're going to be on the road recruiting, trying to take advantage of a couple of days. It's the only real mini type of bye week that we have, so coaches will be on the road for a day or two. They're trying to get some recruiting in, and we got to get on. We got to attack the week with a positive attitude and regroup and go get it done.
And the last one for me, obviously Brandon Martin plays today. He was kind of on and off, but what was it like for you to see him kind of out there again for the first time?
Yeah, it's great to see number 7 back. And I know what he's meant to our program here. I know what he means to me personally. He's had to overcome a lot during his career. He certainly had to show as much mental toughness as any player that we have in our program. And so I'm proud of him. I'm proud of his attitude because he always maintains a positive attitude no matter what challenge that he has. And so just to see him out there, man, nobody has more fun playing the game than he does. And he's always got a smile on his face. He's always going to give everything he has. And so it's great to have him back in there with the helmet and shoulder pads on and making plays.
Coach, just 17 points today. Last 2 weeks, 45, 38. What do you think kind of led to those empty possessions, those stalled drives?
Well, turnovers. Obviously, you can't have the first drive of the game was great. We went down the field and scored. The next drive, we had a turnover. Drive number 2, we had a turnover. Drive 3, I think, had a 3 and out there. But obviously, the turnovers were critical. Obviously, we had an untimely penalty there when the 1 touchdown was called back in the third quarter there to Jayshon, which would have been a big, it's a big momentum swing right there for us. We score that touchdown, and you never know. But obviously, it starts with making sure that the self-inflicted wounds that took place tonight, you can't have those when you're playing against tough teams and playing these type of games. That's the first thing that you have to eliminate in order to give yourself a chance to win and put more points on the board. And certainly 17 points is not enough.
And then just a quick follow-up on that 2-minute drill. There at the end, you guys were moving the ball pretty well, pretty quick. What did you make of that execution? And what do you think went wrong on Blitz's interception?
Yeah, again, the throw was from my vantage point on the sideline. It was in the far end zone here by our facility, so I didn't have a great angle at it. 21 made a play. That's all I can say right now without having a chance to go look at the tape and see. Was it a little bit behind? I'm not sure. Was there a little bit too much air on it? I'm not sure because I haven't had a chance to see it. But everything was going well, and we've spent a lot of time around here repping 2-minute drills in practice, and thought he really was doing a nice job of executing that. And then obviously there at the end, threw a critical interception, and 21 made a play.
Coach, we talked about these mental mistakes happening at very indecisive moments in the game. Going forward in these next few weeks, what mindset can your team get into to eliminate as much of these mental mistakes as possible?
Yeah, I mean, really the message every week when you go into a week of preparation and then you go into a game, you always try to emphasize to your players, it's one play at a time. You got to go out and you got to win your matchup. You got to win your 1/11th. Each man's going to have an individual matchup on a respective play, offense, defense, special teams. We try to emphasize that one play at a time mentality, and it's no different. Obviously tonight, when you turn the ball over, and that's something that we won the turnover margin the last 3 weeks, and it's hard to overcome turnovers and expect to win football games. It might happen every once in a while, but not on a consistent basis. And so you got to eliminate the turnovers, and certainly those untimely penalties. I can't say that enough. You can't shoot yourself in the foot, and in some situations tonight we did that.
Very good. All right.
Okay. Thank you.
Yeah, I guess just after a game like that, where it seemed like there were the opportunities for you guys. What's kind of the mentality like in the locker room after that?
Keep our heads up and on to the next one. That's pretty much all we can do.
And then after, you guys are kind of driving on that last one. Is there any message that kind of drew after that to kind of keep this head up?
Yeah, the message is just we got your back no matter what happens. We're gonna always have his back.
And then I guess just at this point, how do you guys kind of move forward? I think from last week there was a situation where you guys kind of controlled your destiny. How do you kind of reset now with 4 games left?
Nothing changes. Just keep doing what we're doing. We just gotta execute a lot more and a lot better.
There were only 2 pass plays to go, 20 more yards today. You had one with a 38-yard catch. Why do you think you guys can get as much explosive plays as you wanted to today?
Can you repeat the question?
Why do you think the offense couldn't produce the explosive plays you guys are used to in the past couple weeks?
I just kind of think that our energy was kind of low after the first turnover on the second drive. Our energy decreased tremendously, and that played a huge part in the explosive plays that we could possibly do.
And then you had 8 catches, 131 yards today. What does this do for your confidence moving into the back half of the season? What do you think you can kind of help the receiver group kind of follow your lead?
As far as my confidence was already pretty high, but it just upped it a little bit more. But that none of that really matters if we don't get the win. So, and as far as the other receivers in the room, I would just say, just keep going.
Yes, the past couple of weeks, you guys didn't have any turnovers in offense, and you talked about kind of the energy falling a little bit. How do you keep the energy up? When maybe mistakes made out there.
Just keep everybody head on straight, encouraging after mistakes. We gotta let each other know we with them regardless of what happens, and just keep battling out.
Why do you think the energy kind of changes after a turnover that early in the game? What changed today?
Can you repeat the question?
I was just saying, why do you think the energy kind of shifted today after that early turnover?
Because coming into this game, the last 3 games, the turnover margin has been 8-0. And when we had that first turnover, it kind of shocked us a little bit. And it kind of took us a while to recuperate from that.
It looked like there were a few mental mistakes tonight, especially at indecisive parts of the game. I mean, that 2-minute drill, very quickly you got down the field and a game-losing interception. Do you think anything about the spectacle of tonight, it being the Redbird rivalry or homecoming, had any effect on the team's mental performance tonight?
No, not at all. We understood what was at stake today, but overall, we didn't let that affect our play on the field.
After today's loss, going into a few bigger matchups later in the season, how does the team regroup? Like, how do they eliminate those mental mistakes or get back into a better mindset for the future?
Work harder, get back to work, get back to doing what we do.
Very good.
And I saw you kind of pre-game as you guys ran out, kind of looking up the student section, looking at the crowd. What's kind of going through your head in that moment? It was just you're kind of in full uniform again.
Yeah, I mean, it was a really good moment for me. Obviously, there's a time where I didn't know if I was going to be able to come back and be able to play for this team. So being able to be out there back with my guys is just wanted to embrace that moment. Just wanted to take that extra time to do that before we got going.
Yeah, I think the past couple of weeks kind of tried to warm up, tried to get in there. What about today kind of felt right to finally get in there?
Yeah, I mean, we've been trying to, get better and get to the point where we could play, where I could play. But, thought it would be last week, but, had discussions with the training staff, strength staff, and got ready to go and decided to let it fly today.
What's the process kind of been like for you? How hard has it been to kind of get back to the point? How you said you didn't know if you're going to be able to kind of come back?
Yeah, sure. I mean, I think the biggest thing is the support of my teammates. My teammates have been huge through this whole process for me. And those guys having my back just motivates me even more to come in here every day and try to be the best I can and be able to be out there and be an asset to the team when it comes to game day. So just give a lot of credit to my support system and my teammates.
Obviously, it's a tough loss for you guys. What's kind of the message after a game like this?
Yeah, obviously, you never want to lose any game. Obviously, it's a tougher pill to swallow when it's against Miami, the Redbird rivalry. But obviously, we want to move forward and win games. I mean, we don't want to have to worry about anybody else's record, anybody else's schedule. We want to go out every week and win games. So that's what we're focused on.
And a little bit of uncharacteristic mistakes, maybe tonight for you guys. How do you kind of reset after a game like this with the penalties and maybe some turnovers?
Yeah, I mean, we just, like you said, it's about a reset. Everything that happened today, you got to flush it, look at it, see what we need to correct, and nip that in the butt, and then move on and get better from it. So.
Brandon, their quarterback Gabbard only had 4 completions today. What was the game plan like for him? I know he's been on and off with injury. And how do you think he was so effective from the quarterback position today?
Yeah, I mean, we knew it was a possibility that he could play today, but it's just about execution on our part in all 3 phases. You never want to hear that a guy's that efficient offensively, but it's just about looking at those mistakes that we made today and trying to get better from them. But Gabbard's a good player, and he made his available plays today.
And then as a team leader who's been in this situation countless times, with your guys' backs kind of against the wall, what message do you want to preach to the defense, just the entire team? I know you guys have a couple of days to rest, but what's the mindset like moving forward?
Yeah, well, I think you said it perfectly. We've been here before, and a lot of our time here, a lot of these older guys, they've had to deal with a lot of adversity. Had our backs against the wall a few times, but obviously we don't want to be in this position, but we know what it's like, and we know what it's going to take to push forward and win out these last couple of games towards this back half when we get into action, win out these games, and that's what our focus is on, just trying to get better and move forward.
Looks like your snaps were limited tonight, coming back from an injury. You feel at all restless on the sideline and wanting to get back there a little more?
Well, I mean, obviously you want to be in the game to try to help your teammates, but Coach Stockton and the whole staff made a really good plan for me to be able to come in and try to make an impact on the game, and it felt good. I felt really, really good to be back in there, be back with the guys, and just try to make the available plays.
We talked about those big personal fouls, those big mental mistakes at really bad points in the game. Is there anything defense can do to eliminate these or at least greatly minimize them going forward?
Yeah, I mean, when you come to these penalties, I mean, it's about being disciplined. When it gets down to it, you got to be disciplined, especially in some of these critical situations, because every play, the game is on the line, and that's the kind of approach that we take. So we can't have these type of penalties. There's a detriment to us today, but at the end of the day, we didn't play as well as we should, but we're going to get better and move forward.